Alright, so today we're going to do a tutorial on the TGP and the AGM 65. Just that, I won't be working on any other weapons or any other system such as the ARAD or radar. So, equipment going, we're already set for the AGM 65. Have a couple other CVUs on here, let's get rid of those. And we're good to go. Alright, see you out there. Alright, like I said, we're not going to be doing any other startup procedures or anything like that. We're going to just do the AGM. I will explain some things on the nav, just because it will be kind of important to this. I mean, you can utilize it, but it's not super important. So again, tutorial on the TGP, which is what we're looking at here. We just haven't powered it on. Let's go over how to do that. So obviously, we power your FD on, which is right here, and then you should be set on the screen for a bunch of options. And down here, you have TGP. Now this is just for the F-26, and it may work different on the full product here. But once you get this down across the plane, the airframes, it won't matter. You just know you can look for the TGP. So that's TGP, and this is the power on. This is the waypoint set, so you can go to a waypoint set in GPS, URAD, and we'll go over that here in a minute. Your SOI, so your sensor of interest, which you know you have selected correctly when there's a green box around it. So that's the nav to SOI, you'll see the green box. Set the PGP to SOI, you'll see the green box. So, mode, we're going to keep it forward. I don't really come out of that, so we won't go over that. The sensor that to day, night, or even color. Now, there's not many times I use color, just kind of like when I'm watching something explode. And that's about it. So, let's do day. Obviously it's daytime. This is forward to set your sensor forward. So if I SOI it and choose where it goes, I can always come back forward. Okay, and that's how you know you have it SOI'd and looking forward, because you'll see the cursor right here moving. And if you have your your head-mounted control, you have your HMCS activated, then you can see it in your browser. Alright, so we're going to set that forward. Here you have GPS A. I can only assume that's GPS answer, assume, and GPS send. So if I want to, let's go to this. Okay, so there's nothing in GPS at the moment. We'll go over that in a later tutorial. But if I wanted to set target, okay, I'm lasing that target right now, and I click GPS send. So I think it's in. It will send you your GPS targets. Boom. If you're if you're trying to send multiple, go over that again. But that will send GPS targets for your GPS mission missiles. Your GPS missiles. So go ahead and click together. That today. And then zoom in, zoom out. Mark is for when it's nighttime. I think we washed out right about now, but yeah. But basically, if you turn mark on, and you can kind of see it right there. See it move. Yep, so there you go. That'll be lasing a target at nighttime, and it's good for your teammates. And to keep track where your sensor is pointing. So with that, let's get up from here. Tower, Alpha 1-1, request a taxi.
Copy. Taxi to runway 20.
For that.
Over T.
Alpha 1-1, tower. Cleared for takeoff at runway 20.
That tower. Alright, so alright, I pretty much know where these targets are at on the map, so we're just gonna go there. But if you were to be targeting something, that's what I'm gonna be going over. If you're gonna be doing some recce or recon, then this is how you would go about doing it. At least this is how I do it. You can do it however you want, come up with whatever procedures you have, but I'm giving you a know-how to work the system and how you will be able to operate in. So let's get over to those targets.
Over T. Pull up.
Stop. Give you a little show while we get over there.
Altitude. Over T. Over T. Over T.
So I do know my targets are somewhere in this bay. Yep, so there they are. It's actually popping up right there. And now they can see me, I'm sure. I can see them, they can see me. I'll go ahead and pull up out here because they might start shooting at us.
Over T.
And typically you don't want to be doing this when
Over T.
you're looking for any targets. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down, sorry, we're going to go ahead and climb
Over T.
to about Angels 23, which is 23,000 feet, because the terrain over here We want to be able to our TGP sensor to read past the terrain. The higher you are, the better angle you have. So we're going to go ahead and go in about Angels 23. So, know what our targets are. Let's look for the boat. Now, when you are targeting, we're about 20,000 feet. When you are targeting, you're up there. Let's power. So, what you need to work on is being able to fly the actual plane while looking around and using your targeting pod. That's probably one of the more difficult things because you'll catch yourself, accidentally ruddering left or right, or you'll catch yourself in a spin and you don't even know what's going on because you're sitting here, and clearly you can see the sunlight, but when you're focused in, you'll be surprised at how much you'll skew off of the screen. So we're coming up on that bay over here. I can see it right outside our canopy. And what we're going to end up doing what I suggest you do when you're doing targeting and you're practicing this is you set the speed, altitude, and heading. Not so much the speed if you know what you're doing over here, but altitude and heading, I feel like it's a big thing. I have a lot of dead zone play, so when I'm targeting and I'm actually using the thumbstick for the TGP, which we just sent to soy, I can move it a little bit without that happening. Okay, so the biggest thing is making sure you're not flying the plane while targeting. So I already know that our target's down here, so I'm kind of looking out at my canopy. I can kind of see it, and I'm going to send our TGP cursor right in the general area, and without even zooming in, it caught it. Now this boat has a radar that's spinning. I tend to slew over and pick that because sometimes the boats will not be destroyed, and that'll be just a pain in the ass. So let's hit the thing that we have a problem with, and it's that radar, to be honest. So you'll see it gimbal out like this, right? You'll hit your gimbal limit, and that's okay. You'll come back around, right, once your pilot's off. You can come back around. We haven't gotten far enough, so I'm not going to turn around just yet. But it'll most likely lose the target. So what you're going to want to do is just, it'll still probably be near the target and even on the target. But what you're going to want to do is jostle that thumbstick a little bit and let it re-engage that target. Okay. Again, so let's turn down. Show you what I mean, because you'll get that FOE indicator indicating that it is locked onto that specific. So you see it's not up there being orange, right? So again, I'm going to activate my altitude and heading. Plane takes over. I'm not seeing the lock indicator, so I'm going to jostle it. There you go. So we're back on it. And now if I wanted to, I can turn in and start my attack. But we're not going to do that just yet because I'd like to show you something else. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the sensor forward. We're going to come and zoom all the way out. And real quick, so this is your thumbstick for the TGP, and when it's soy, you can push it in to press the thumbstick for 3 seconds, And there you go, look at that. You have control of your TGP. You have full control of your TGP. Now if you swing that forward, that thumbstick forward, it'll zoom in on that TGP for your head mount. And if you click it one more time, not 3 seconds, click it one more time, you'll see it'll lock onto wherever you last looked in your head mount. And then you can zoom in and target that radar like I said earlier, or just the boat in general if you know it. I'm pretty sure this boat's going to blow up with the first 65 we hit it with, so I don't think we're going to have any issues there. So on our next roundabout, we're going to come in and we're going to actually shoot off that AGM. We'll shoot off that AGM and I think we'll be okay. Let's come off of it and turn out into. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is this line right here, and that's a dynamic launch zone, I believe it is, DLZ, and there's a caret right up here, and you want that caret to be between this top line and this bottom line. Now, this top half that doesn't seem to be a full box is basically an indicator of its glide. Like, it'll make it to its point, but it'll be out of propellant and it'll kind of glide to it. Now if you're trying to really attack some target without any disruption, you want to shoot it in between this box. Like this, as long as you're within this 3D box, it'll still have propellant and it will be sending some juice towards that target. So right now we're not going to do that. I don't think they have any SAMs or anything to fight back with at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and go off of here. I'm going to toggle that like I said, and I'm still going to zoom in on that radar. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we're going to make sure that our AGM is selected. Now if it's not on your Quest controller, you'll have a B button. Can't see it if you're in the Quest, but it's the top button right next to the thumbstick. You're gonna want to click that. See it. It's your master select for your weapons. You're gonna pick 65, obviously, and then we're gonna turn in for this target. Now, you choose an egress that's going to help you on your way out. If there was SAM sites or man pads, which they may have, you want to kind of use the terrain to go away very quickly. So we're not going to do any egressing at the moment. I might in the middle of all this, but right now we're just going to full blast and hit our target. You'll hear that tone once you're in range. That's your launch authority, but our caret is not yet in between that. You'll get that, which is your shoot authority, and now we can shoot it. So let's go ahead and shoot this up. Fox 3. All right, and the gunboat is down. So let's bleed some speed. And we'll do this again. So TGP is soaring. We're going to set it forward since the target was destroyed. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And the good thing about setting it to the head mount, 1, 2, 3, click in, is I can do this. Now I see through my plane, basically the sensor. I'm zooming in. Now mind you, I'm having some troubles with the stick. So you gotta be real careful here. So I'm gonna just click it in the vicinity of these. And I already grabbed one, look at that. And we're gonna hit all 3 of these targets all at once. Now I believe this was on the mountainside. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and turn on around. west. We're gonna hit all three. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna move your TGP, one over, fire, one over, fire, one over. And the whole time we're working on our stick control, I can control the TGP, I'll do whatever if I need to evade. This is how you're gonna get good at when we get into jamming missiles and all that other crap. You're going to be able to target a missile on radar and ARAD, while also evading or doing maneuvers to evade or let's say avoid detection. Let's turn you. I'm going to read some of that speed off. Technically, we are good to fire. We only have one, means, you know, that sucks. Okay, realized. So I guess we'll just see that. Carrot is not within range. Carrot is not within range, so we will not be firing just yet. We'll wait till that line reaches that, and we'll go ahead and let her rip. Our carrot's in view, so let's do this. And there you have it. That's TGP and AGM 65. That's it. We're gonna go ahead and come down here, look at this, and then we're going home, yeah? Tower, Alpha 1-1, requested landing.
Alpha 1-1, tower, cleared to land at runway 02, right.
Roger that.
Landing gear. Autopilot disengaged.
Welcome back. Follow the taxi path to your parking area.
So that's it. That's awesome. So you learned how to control the TGP, you learned how to zoom in, you learned how to also use the head mount display to target. You've learned now that you could use the autopilot to be very useful while targeting.
Ground crew standing by.
You pretty much learned it all, and here we are.